Greetings, and more greetings, and welcome to another week of Here to Help You. I am Dave Rankin, or as like my handler likes to say as improper English, I are Dave Rankin. Alongside me today is our wonderful friend, a multifaceted, multi-talented, super great photographer, Lawrence Kerr.
Lawrence E. Kerr.
Sorry, can't forget the initial. welcome, brother.
How you doing, man?
You know, another day in the shade, my friend. Yes, sir. So, you know, as you mentioned the last time we were here, that we will actually do a segment, at least one segment a month,
right?
Where we get a chance to call it Brothers Helping Brothers,
right?
And simply, you know what, like, if you just want to go ahead and tell the crowd, or at least, you know, our audience out in, you know, the whole entire world, wherever they go ahead and tune in from, regards to what they could be seeing from us too in the future.
Okay, well, it's funny, you know, when thinking about how it started. You know, we're just sitting in the studio. And we were just chatting.
Right.
And the conversation, you know, it was funny. Simone was out there watching us, and we're just kind of watching the two kids play it. And just where the conversations were going.
She was a proud mother, wasn't she?
Right. She's like, I did this. But it was just, you know, the two of us just, you know, vibing about music, touching a little bit politics and everything else. But, you know, from your more scholarly point of view,
well.
and me as a class clown, but it just those two perspectives coming together, and then the similarities.
Yes.
Wow, so this is really cool.
Yeah,
right?
man. Yeah,
so.
we this is something in the making. You know what? Like, we can't stop divine intervention.
Right.
And by means, you know, what we got going on right here today is just one of many things that is definitely going to happen here on Here to Help You. For sure. So let's get into regards to what we're dealing with for today. I thought, of course, you know, in regards to us talking a little bit yesterday, that we go ahead and celebrate a few of our esteemed people. You know, whether, you know, Canadian from here, of course, you know, within the nation, whether across the border, or simply just around the world, right? And you know what? Let's start off with talking about Viola Desmond.
Wow.
Yes. It's a great feat.
It is.
You know what? I haven't come across a $10 bill as of yet.
Okay,
have you?
I've gone to 3 banks. I went today specifically because I wanted, you know, to.
Right.
I thought it'd be so simple, right?
Oh, right.
Go to, you know, every time I get change, look for, no, there's none there. So I went to the bank and like, they're on back order.
Back order.
Back order.
Oh,
they
wow.
are waiting for them.
Wow.
At the bank. So if anyone has one in circulation right now, I wouldn't doubt if you can find some on eBay.
Probably selling it for like $20 right now, right?
Absolutely, because they're in that high demand. So when I see people flashing them, I thought, okay, big deal. I go to them. Yeah, no, which
yet.
in itself, this speaks to the magnitude of this accomplishment. Like,
Yeah.
You can't even get one.
Oh, for sure. You know, as a note, you know, we wrote about in regards to like how this past weekend there were a few celebrations which took place out in Halifax in her hometown. Right. There's a week-long celebration, in fact, and it culminated with them being in a church. What was the name of the church again? St. George's Round Church, and this past Sunday, where exactly, you know, they invited some of the family members and also members of the community, right? And of course, you know, just to go ahead and talk about this wonderful feat, you know, and let's go into the first video. right? So we can go ahead and show in regards to like the celebration, and more important, this wonderful woman, in regards to her sacrifice for
Right,
us.
right. Amazing story.
The people were coming, you could hear them coming and going all the time.
Owning her beauty salon did not come easily. Viola was denied formal training in Halifax because of the color of her skin. So she trained in Montreal, New York, even Atlantic City, and learned from the likes of Madame C.J. Walker, the first black female millionaire. Back in Canada, Viola opened up her salon, set up a school to develop other black beauticians, and created her own beauty products. She spent hours, sometimes days, traveling across the Maritimes, delivering them to clients. Viola was on one of her product runs November 8, 1946, when her car broke down in New Glasgow. She decided to see a movie, and that changed the course of history.
I could afford to buy the more expensive ticket. I run.
So that was a small clip in regards to, of course, our great matriarch Viola Desmond as went through. One thing I dislike is, is that we have a lot of people saying that she was Rosa Parks before Rosa Parks, and they're like, I can understand the connection,
Yeah.
right? But you know what? At this point in time, right, and especially the popularity, the growing increase of popularity and awareness, she deserves, of course, to be called by a rightful name.
Right.
So
Right.
it's a wonderful thing in regards to what has taken place. Do we have a picture of the $10 bill? Excellent. Wonderful. Look at that. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Right. We have, of course, the one side with her face, and the other side, I believe, is a map in regards to her neck of the woods in regards to where she came from.
Right, right.
So
Because as the story goes, she was passing through New Glasgow,
Right.
and her car broke down. So it just happened to be there. But before that, I'll admit, and from a history standpoint, before they put the ballot out for who should be on the bill, I'd never heard of the story.
Okay.
All cards on the table. So I'm like, okay, who is this individual? And I'm like,
Right.
wow.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
I was the Rosa Parks before Rosa Parks on that train because it was 9 years before.
Yeah.
Rosa,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
whole
the whole
civil
back of the
birth
bus. Yeah,
of
yeah.
the civil rights movement.
That's right.
Here's, we had our Canadian business owner, a beautician,
Yes.
driving her car.
Yes. Yeah. All owned. Yeah, that's right.
So,
that's right.
not taking a bus, not taking away from Rosa and her situation, but to look at that stature of who this individual
Absolutely correct.
was.
Yes.
Like, that alone is to be celebrated, right?
Yeah, and just to comment it as well, right? Of course, here in Toronto, there's a number of celebrations that took place here, especially in Taibu, out on the east side of things. Can we show that picture? In regards to all our dignitaries, all our local dignitaries. I believe this should be perfect. Look at them right there.
Okay,
all
yeah.
holding up, of course, Commander Dollar Bill. We got Alvin Curlin right at the end there. Funny story. I was maybe about 8, maybe 9 years old in an airport when I actually met Alvin Curlin.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah, do you remember the book The Invisible Man by H.G.
Yes,
Wells?
yep.
He signed my book.
Really?
Yes.
So what's the connection between him and the book?
Actually, you know what? None.
Oh,
It
okay.
just so happens
That's what you had
That's
to
what I
sign
had at
up.
the airport at the point in time.
Oh, but how fitting though, really,
Exactly,
right?
right? Exactly. Then, of course,
For
we
those don't know the story, look that up. Wikipedia. I'm not going to go into the whole rundown, the syllabus of what that the book's about, but that is really fitting.
Exactly, right? Exactly. So, every time they get a chance to see him, he's been doing wonderful work. Especially, he's wrote a report regarding the gun violence, which, at some point in time we'll go ahead and tackle, but it's amazing in regards to, of course, the response, the outpouring cry, in regards to, like, really embracing the situation at this point in time. Because there are things, of course, as we know, that take place on a daily basis, which subject us, to the lowest of low, right? And now, of course, to see us in a manner, it is inspiring.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
For sure.
But as you say that, it just thought of thinking about the Viola Desmond, Rosa Parks situation and the parallels. I wonder if they knew about Viola Desmond's plight in the States.
That's a good question,
Just thinking
Yeah,
what
just taking it in.
if there would be any involvement. Because imagine now if that happened, they, our brothers and sisters from the South would be up here,
Right.
And they'd know about it through social media,
Right.
and everything else. I don't know the penetration of media of the day, and Halifax, not even just Canada,
Right.
Halifax,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how far spread that went.
Well, that's where, vanguards such as us and everybody else who understands the story will be able to go in and spread this message. Because there's one thing that our American brothers and sisters do not understand is that, our plight, You know, there's a few of them that do, right?
Right.
But there's a lot of them that don't understand, of course, the systematic racism that we face here. Let alone, of course, you know, the day-to-day struggles.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Right.
We got this video in regards to showing, and you know, we want to go ahead and show this. Viola Desmond's sister holding up the $10 bill. So we can go ahead and roll that clip, please.
And I think the impact for me was to show how a small act can become something even bigger.
Former Lieutenant Governor Mayanne Francis was a part of that bigger moment decades later, issuing a pardon to Viola Desmond in April 2010. A request initiated in writing by Viola's younger sister.
She knew an injustice was done to her sister, and she fought to make sure that it was undone in her lifetime. So it was a very moving experience for me, knowing that I was the one, a black woman, was going to be given Viola Desmond something that she should have had a long time ago, her freedom. I remember my heart was just beating away, and it was so many people, so many cameras, and I kept thinking.
Amazing. Once again, an amazing feat, you know, and it, you know, she's receiving her just due. You know, it's on one side, of course, it is sad that, you know, she's not around to go to see this. She did pass, you know, a little bit early,
Right.
You know, but at the same time, you know what, her legacy now lives on, continues to live on.
Absolutely,
you know,
absolutely.
and it's wonderful.
And there's members of our immediate family
Which are
that's
still-
here to get to at least, you know, and the people that've been through that and experienced it with
Exactly.
her to at least, you know, see this, because it's great when they do things posthumously, but you know, the people that weren't involved or family to get to celebrate. At
That's
least they,
right.
you know, say, hey sis, we got you.
There we go, you know, and you know, as her sister said in one of the interviews that the Queen has now got company, right, and good company to be his fact, you know.
That's nice. That's nice.
We're approaching our first break here. I here to help you. You know what? See us back in a few moments. You know, sit back, hold tight. This is Brothers Helping Brothers. Dave Rankin, Lawrence Kerr.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Welcome back to Here to Help You. Once again, I am Dave Rankin. He is Lawrence E. Kerr. You know, and this is, of course, Brothers Helping Brothers. If you missed the first segment, we were celebrating our great matriarch, our great Canadian matriarch, Miss Viola Desmond. You know, and of course, now, if you've been living under a rock and you don't know, now you know. Her face is now on the $10 bill, which is now in circulation. The by means, go to your bank, let them know, listen, you want one of those $10 bills.
And if you do get a picture with one, take a picture. Get
Yes.
one. Take a picture with it and post that.
That's right. That's right. You know, I'm. You know what? I just ordered some shirts. Big up to Mark Stoddard. He actually did a Viola Davis shirt. Sorry, Viola Desmond shirt. Right. So I'm waiting for those shirts to come in.
Okay.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
what I'll probably do is probably frame it and go
I
buy
just,
my first $10 bill.
I'm just thinking what that design's gonna be like. 'Cause my man is he's so talented.
He is nice, man. He's nice with it for sure. You know, let's get into our second story for today. Go right ahead, my friend.
Well, Dave, you know, I'm hearing through, not even through the grapevine, a lot of talk about a situation with someone from our community who's done a lot of work, been very out and present. And speaking of Justice McLeod.
Yes.
And, you know, the action that's being brought against him. And I just find it really curious. There's talk about the action, but not why. And it really why.
Yeah.
And so there's rallies, and I believe there's one coming
It's
up.
coming up. I think we have a picture. You want to go? Oh, there it is. There we go. Coming up this weekend, right?
Coming up this week, is it,
Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost, there's a call to action, but it's someone from the community needs support.
Right.
But I really am hard pressed to find a why. What is really, what's happening.
I have my suspicions. Back in, I believe it was in March or April earlier this year. The Star, they ran an article, and in fact, we had a chance to go and cover it a couple weeks ago regarding the upcoming case, right? And it comes down to now, in my opinion, the fact that the organization did what it needed to do, which is in fact bring light and awareness in regards to our situation.
Right.
It'd be one thing, of course, if they met with, government officials, the prime minister, so on and so forth, and really nothing came out of it, right? But, to have an unprecedented amount now being mentioned in the federal budget, right? So, I mean, of course, this is going to go ahead and, spur the wheels, so to speak, the light bulbs go off and so on and so forth. So that's just my opinion.
Okay.
Right? So, I mean, I can understand where you're coming from in regards to the why. It is a little bit of hush-hush in regards to that. I mean, Toronto Star, Royce and James, and in fact, anybody read the article, it was released, I believe, yesterday. Royce and James wrote a very fiery article, right? We're stating, of course, yes, this man is on trial and persecution for helping us, and not anything else, right? Just for helping us, right? So, I mean, it's interesting in regards to how everything's going to play out from here on in.
Yeah. I think, just given the swell of the movement, either way, I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, of course. I mean, either way, as you say, of course, there's one way you can look at it in regards to saying, you know what, screw this. I'm going to work for my people from here on in, right? And become forever etched in our hearts, right? Or, of course, he can continue to fight this battle, right? Still do the good work,
right?
But still, continue to fight for this battle, because who knows? It could happen to somebody else.
And this is the thing, where, to go out and champion and everything else, because it could be anyone from the private or public sector that, things get put out there, and what is it about? What's really happening? What's the nitty gritty? And, things get put out there without a lot of detail.
Yes.
And then, it's like, okay, do I support because I know and like the man from this?
Right.
And it's like the people that were on the Bill Cosby. I loved him from the show.
Yes.
That's everyone's dad.
Yes.
Everything else, it couldn't be. And they just, without fact or a lot of reason, for that reason, supported.
Yes.
And, instead of, really digging deeper.
And of course, to find out that, yes, he has some, very nefarious activities.
Right. I'm not equating Justice McLeod
of course,
to...
no.
Let's be clear. I'm just... you got it.
I got you. We're in agreement there, my friend.
Class clown and the scholar.
If we could go ahead and show up the flyer once again for the rally. We just want to make sure, of course, everybody who wants to go ahead and sign the petition, I believe the link is on there. There you go. You see the Bitly account right there at the bottom. The rally, in fact, will be held at the Nelson Mandela Park Public School at 440 Shooter. And the hearing, which is coming up, the 30th, I believe, is the Monday, no? Or is it? Friday. There
Friday,
it is on the
yeah.
show. If I can read, right? Friday, November 30th, 9 a.m. By means, you know what? If you want to go downtown, do a solid. Show the brother you definitely have his support. If not, of course, sign the petition by means. However, if you're on the fence, do some more research. Ask a few more people in regards to what's taking place, and by means, make an informed decision. Because once again, it's either we fall by the wayside in regards to, of course, being divided, or, we stand together in unison, right?
Right,
so,
absolutely.
You know what? Let's go to another figure, and he was supposed to be here, but of course he couldn't reach. But by means, Kente Claus.
Kente Claus, he's making his way north. I think he actually is north. He is north from, his summer home in Carriacou.
Okay.
As opposed to the South Pole, this is his brother, Mr. Claus. He's making the trek.
There we go.
He's coming.
My good brother DeWitt Lee, who is AKA Kente Claus. When I first heard of course, him suiting up, I was like, this is an interesting idea. Of course, traditionally, of course, we have good old Saint Nick, or bad Saint Nick, depending on who
you talk to.
Yeah, exactly, right? But like to have this, twist to it, right? And of course, now having us, our children, go ahead and look forward to seeing something like this, right? And more importantly, he speaks the language of the children as well, right? So, but it means, it's a wonderful feat.
You know what? And in so many ways, to see how he's transformed himself. to, I know at some point that, how he came to this idea. And then just, the marinate in the spirit just took him to,
Right.
this is needed.
Yes.
And to then see, if you've seen DeWitt or heard DeWitt speak,
Yes.
is very, very powerful.
Correct.
And quite a presence. He doesn't need a mic for a room. But now it's a different person, and really embodying what that needs to be to get through to the kids. And to see him at an event and the kids just come up and they're just like so happy.
Right.
It's like, wow, this is it really is something. I've been Santa's helper for about 8-9 years.
Okay.
For the June Caldwood Center. I do that every year, and just seeing that interaction with the kids.
Right.
They wanted a black Santa.
Okay.
And when I was a little heavier and I did need a pillow, I will be using a pillow for my suit this year because I lost a little weight.
Okay.
But seeing that interaction and with the traditional, and some of the kids looking at you side-eyed like, you're not really Santa. And I said, well, really, Isaiah? I'm like, oh my gosh, you knew my name. So I make sure I get but that magic. But now taking that, and there's a backstory to it. The kid, being there at the birth of Jesus, and when Mary and Joseph were fleeing Egypt, how they, he helped them with passage. So there really is that connection. So I'm like, okay, wow. So to weave that story and do the research to have enough factual reference,
Right.
to if you do the history and you look at it, it's like, my boy, he's on point.
Yeah.
He's on point. This is plausible. Class clown.
Know what we need right now? Like back in the days, Pee Wee Herman was the word of the day, and it flashed up at the bottom.
Right.
I think we need one of those. So once again, Brother DeWitt Lee, Kente Claus, by means, we thank you so much for your efforts. We thank you so much for, of course, bringing joy in the hearts of children, across this wonderful city of ours.
And right now, we're just working on location. So December 16th, there'll be an opportunity for the community to come out and meet with Kente Claus. So he's thinking west. So we'll see if that location comes through at that point. But yeah, he's making the rounds. So you can go to Kente Claus on the Instagram,
that's right.
and you can see his journey. I'm telling you,
he's doing the thing. I did
summer home in Carriacou.
I can only wonder, if he has the magic and the power to go there and bring some more sunshine our way. All of the snow and all of the, I understand, of course, the festive Yuletide and all of that, but by means, we want some more sunshine, Kente Claus, hook that up, see me?
Right? I can do without snow this Christmas. Like, don't send angry mail this way. But I'm okay with no snow.
I understand. No howling winds for me, no sleets, none of that.
Ice
Bring
storm.
on more. No, of course, we can leave it where it is, We want more sunshine.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure. We're approaching our second break here, and here to help you. Once again, IR, Dave Rankin. He is Lawrence Kerr. This is Brothers Helping Brothers. We'll be back.
Hello, my name is Anisha, and I'm the production manager of TCN Network. Have you ever wanted to host your own show? Do you have a message to share? Well, you're in luck. We are looking for dynamic and unique individuals to host their own shows. We are seeking people who are committed, motivated, and energetic. Do you want to be the next Jimmy Fallon, Ellen DeGeneres, or Shane and Ryan from BuzzFeed Unsolved? Start here. Are you humble, disciplined, responsible, selfless, and enthusiastic? Those are our core values. And if you identify with them, you could be part of a growing network that focuses on positivity and uplifting our community. We can't wait for you to join us on TCN Network and hope to hear from you soon.
We're back. Sorry, we're on 1 or 2? One? Sorry, something, we got too many cameras in here.
I didn't bring any this time. It's not me. No selfies yet.
Well, for the incoming weeks, we can definitely do that.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
You know it's coming. Well, I do have some cameras.
By means, go right ahead. This will tie into of course, our next thing. Look on the socks, them. Boy, what a color. You can't get lost on road,
No.
Can't get lost.
These are my ski socks, because I get buried.
Oh, I see. Yes, in Keswick.
Right.
So speaking of socks, let's speak in regards to what you got going on in regards to the sock drive.
Yes, yes. So, as many people know, I'm known for my socks, and my partner in crime, Al St. Louis, who actually I stole the sock thing from. Full disclosure, it was his. I totally jacked his style. We're sitting there and like, looking and thinking about something that we can do.
Right.
Again, with me in the photography, the branding, him with the spoken word and the natural hair salon, and the common thread and everything is socks. And a lot of people, some people might not know how much Al does for the community.
Yes.
As far as speaking engagements, he takes kids from the street, literally, and brings them to the shop and teaches them the craft and everything else. So just think about something we can collaborate on, and it just made sense. Socks. So started a sock drive, which will be, we're probably going to end this, I think, December 15th.
Okay.
We had a goal of 400 pairs.
Okay.
We've reached 451.
Oh, wow.
To date.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
So it's just been an unbelievable response. It really had exceeded our expectations, even so much that, some corporate sponsors are coming on board as well.
Wonderful.
So, and just seeing that need, I've, through working with my dad, he's an electrical contractor, he's worked in, had the contract to do electrical work in almost all the shelters in Toronto.
Okay.
And I've seen all of the shelters in Toronto.
Right.
I've seen the need.
Okay.
Firsthand.
Yeah.
And so, to be able to help in that way, to give back, knowing that, from just a point of dignity, to have warm feet.
Yeah.
To, have a fresh pair of socks.
Of course.
Let's put those socks on. And
for sure,
makes all the difference.
For sure, it does.
Yeah.
It does. Of course, growing up Jamaican, and by means, you have your cheese bottom shoes. That is your wallabies. In English, that is your wallabies. But you have diamond socks. So by and all colors as well.
Right.
Right. So it means you can understand regards to what a pair of socks does.
Yes.
So by means, in respect in regards to, of course, like some of the deplorable conditions, some of these men and women are facing. That can't even go ahead and afford a pair of socks.
Yeah.
Let alone, mentioned, I think you mentioned that, I guess a lot of the sickness or health diseases, of course, by means come straight through the feet.
From the feet. So 20% of health-related issues for homeless people are foot-related.
Oh, wow.
So, from frostbite to kind of fungal issues with the feet and whatnot, and just the overall soreness. So then to look at something that's so simple and overlooked, and more importantly, there's so many drives, especially there's food drives, and they have the food bank. That's
right,
all year round. And they have they peak of when they have their promotions, but it's all year.
Right.
They're doing that. The hygiene kits, specifically, usually for women, that they'll have, but it's nothing. No, I shouldn't say nothing. Very little awareness about that side. So it's like, okay, everyone else handle all those things. This is what we're going to do. This is our part. And so using the United Way is going to be the recipient for a good amount of the socks.
Okay.
I don't want to get into distribution. I'll be honest.
That's a different beast.
You know what? To go and know who should get, because I'd see for one person and give them everything, just thinking that's what. Yeah. But they'll have a better grasp on who and where it's needed through all the programs that they support. Like Yes We Can with our sister Elaine Robinson is a manager up in Scarborough. So
big up.
She will definitely be a part of that.
Wonderful.
In the distribution and everything else. So yeah, it's just. Second, so many other things I've done. Teaching the photography course, with, to the community kids was great. This is
hands down.
Oh, man. Yeah, and it's just seeing how things are clicking. So shout out to Marco at Giant Tiger at the Shoppers World. He's coming on board as one of the sponsors.
Wonderful.
So he really helped us with the money that we've raised so far to get so much more.
Oh, excellent.
And then he's like, yeah, you know what? Let's go. Let's do this. So I'm like, wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and it's an amazing thing. Simple thing is asking.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? I mean, the golden words are to ask and you shall be received,
that's it,
right?
That's it. So I'm walking through a store with a cart full of socks. And I'm like, what's going on here? So I wouldn't be surprised if the price goes up next week. Supply and demand, because I emptied the bin, which was it was great. So Al and I went there and we did our thing.
Excellent. So let the people know in regards to where they can go ahead and drop off donations, and and by means, I think there's a monetary value as well. They can go ahead and donate as well.
Yes.
Please.
So the two ways. You can come to Brampton's most dynamic address, which is 7 Ard Glen Drive.
There we go.
The home of Lock and Twist and Alagrato. Is where Lawrence Kerr Media is housed. So there's a bin for collections there, and you can send an email to sockdrive89@gmail.com if you want to send a financial contribution. Pretty much every $12 will buy 20 pairs of socks.
Very inexpensive, people.
Yeah.
By means, it's a good cause. We know what to do. If you can't find yourself to the store, at least send $12. They can buy 20 socks. That's at least 10 people.
And you know what? I'm reluctant to put it out there, but I will be making some stops so that some people that want to donate that live out of the Brampton area. So I'm going to make some runs so we can coordinate some pickup as well.
Excellent, excellent. A beautiful cause, my friend. I continue you now. You're doing wonderful work for our community, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
Appreciate it.
No worries. You know what? We got a few minutes. I'd like to go ahead and take the time to go ahead and acknowledge another person that was who was, we're gonna say, accredited, for lack of a better word, right? And can we show the picture of Major Walter Peters, please? Now, for those who are unable or they've never heard of this young man, this brother before, he was the first pilot out in Halifax. Right, so once again, of course, we're on the east side of the nation.
Yeah, the east is doing it, eh?
Yes, we look at the settlers, when they came in, of course, they settled there, right? So by means, I can understand where a lot of the feats are coming from. But this brother right here, you can just imagine, of course, being enrolled in the Air Force at the point in time where nobody looked like him, right? And of course, being that it was very European or Caucasian dominated,
right.
So the type of racism, the types of comments, the smirks, so on and so forth, this brother had to go ahead and face. Right. So in an article that was in the Toronto Star, actually CBC, that is, quotes as follows: When Peters from Litchfield, Annapolis County, Nova Scotia, earned his wings in 1963, he was surrounded by white faces. He had no black role models in the Royal Canadian Air Force. The night before his graduation ceremony, a reviewing officer remarked that Peters wouldn't have made rear gunner in his day, which is actual position. Right. The next day, that same person who made the comment gave him his wings, right? So it's interesting, regards to, of course, once again, that backlash is coming from, right? Yeah. Right. He rose to the rank of major, right, and had a soaring list of accomplishments. One of them was creating the military I'm gonna call it the aerobatic team. Simply, where you have we have here the during was it Canada Day weekend, how we have the fighter planes.
The C&E, the
That's
snowbirds.
Right. There we go. Right.
Yeah.
So of course he had his hand in, of course, creating that on that side of the world for us
and
as
that's
well.
Just for me, every year my dad looks so forward to that,
Right.
and learning that a black man was at the helm and very influential in getting that program started.
Yeah, there we go.
So,
it's amazing for sure. Hats off, by me, brother. Also, not only did that, the Snowbirds, he also advised the United Nations in regards to aviation safety, right? And after retiring from the military, he was an advisory to the Canadian Aviation Safety Board and Transport Canada. So he's held very esteemed positions. And what they did in regards to go ahead and celebrate this man is that they marked a road after him. Can we show the picture, please? There we go. And, hopefully we can go and see it. But it's an intersection, and here it is. The two roads near the gas station, previously called Crossroad and Main Street, were officially renamed at this historic event. Walter Peters Drive intersects Mabel Hubbard Drive. And this is a name a lot of us won't be familiar with, but she was the wife of Alexander Graham Bell.
Oh, really?
Yes. She's the first woman to go ahead and actually fund research for aviation.
Wow.
So imagine that, right?
Imagine that being
exactly.
the
crossword, right? So it's an amazing thing to go ahead, not only be celebrated alongside of her, right, but more importantly, of course, knowing that this man, he's got a cemented a place, in history, for us. We definitely salute this brother.
And imagine he didn't even think he was going to have a career in aeronautics or as a pilot. Aviation. Can you imagine
exactly.
that?
And his daughter Shelley said this pretty much at the celebration, that through all his pursuits, his message was the same: be the best you can be. If you want it, go get it, and don't let anybody tell you you can't. You know, it says amazing things. You know, definitely a message that we'll go ahead and we'll take into the break with us here. So, Lawrence Kerr, Dave Rankin, we'll be back in a few moments here to help you. We're back for our last segment here on Here to Help You. This is Brothers Helping Brothers edition with myself, IR, Dave Rankin, alongside Lawrence E. Kerr. You know, he mentioned during the break, I guess we're going to get some shirts or some props going on.
You know, this could be fun. I'm gonna try something. See if I can keep up.
No doubt, no doubt. You know, so for our last segment, I wanted to go ahead and actually celebrate another brother, you know, an elder in our community who's doing wonderful things when it comes to reggae music, right? He is the founder of CanadianReggaeWorld.com, you know, Mr. Julian or Julie Lyon, you know, King.
I like that.
Right? I know, me too. You know, I heard it was like, yes.
My brother's name is Julian,
right?
That's it. I'm changing Julian. That's it from now on.
There we go. You know, a wonderful man. You know, very knowledgeable. You know, especially when it comes to reggae music. You know, he created this seminar called Fuel Reggae, where he's had a chance to go ahead and interview a plethora of Canadian reggae superstars. Let's go and take a look at the clip real quickly with Esco Levi and Julian.
It was in a so-called Facebook argument. A youth name, what the bass player youth that name again? Wow, I hope it will come to me. Anyway, he posted a question about how come reggae music and hip-hop in Canada doesn't seem to go where it could go. And the president, or ex-president of Attic Records, chimed in.
Yeah.
So I said, this is an opportunity for Julian to say something.
You know what I'm saying?
We're going to talk, guys.
Yeah.
So I tell him, so I just put in my little 2 cents away. And then just like you just said to me, the people at SOCAN and the ex-president of Attic Records and the executives at Warner Music and Universal and EMI and Sony and all of these people tell us that reggae is a niche market.
A niche market.
No, lad. You're that niche market. So, sorry. You name me another genre of music from jazz, hip-hop, soul, rock and roll. Name me another genre of music that's played on every continent and every island. Ask you a question. How you can be a niche?
And you play for every
You
continent.
play every people's home. How is that a niche thing? Can you help me with that? Because I haven't figured it out yet. So maybe you.
I try to think. I've tried to figure it out. And apart from that, then you have a next man named Bob Marley with him locks them hang down so. And him big spliff in her mouth where everywhere you go on this planet Earth, you know, they would refer you Escaliva with, oh, Bob Marley country. What kind of music do that man sing? Reggae. So I don't understand, you know what I mean?
That was Julian King, alongside 4-time Juno and soon to be Grammy award winning.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be something, another thing we can go ahead and put on our map. Esco Levi. He holds these seminars. It's either once every month or bi-weekly. In fact, this past Saturday was the most recent event, and it's normally held in Parkdale's and Boxing Loft, right? He states the following, that the reason why he went ahead and actually dubbed it Feel Reggae is that because you can't teach reggae. You have to feel reggae, right? Which is excellent because, of course, when you look at the nature of his seminars, there's nothing scripted, right? More importantly, it's a vibration that everybody is on. So, of course, they get a chance to feel everyone, where everybody's coming from, right? And, of course, music transcends all culture, right? So the matter is where you come from. As long as you can feel reggae, you're there.
You're there.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. Just to continue on in regards to, and I'm quoting this right here, we invite you to, if you already feel it, if you are in a band or not, if you are a serious musician or not, it's about a feel. In order to play reggae music, you have to feel it. You cannot be taught. We will improve your feel through practical application, playing with a full band, whether it's drum, bass, guitars, and as well as keys. If you have always wished to ask someone how to play that riff or keep the rhythm or the timing and the flow of music or compose your own reggae track or just join a jam session, all are welcome. So by means, I'm going to the Facebook. He has his group, Feel Reggae. It is the group. Worst case scenario, you can always pop over to CanadaReggaeWorld.com. He will have them there as well. It is a free seminar. So by means, all donations are welcomed. So by means, pay what you can at the door. Show some love, show your support,
PWIC stand for?
That's a good question. Pay what you can. Oh,
there you go.
I saw that. See, it's all about branding, right?
Right. Beautiful. I love that.
So we would like to big up the brother once again for his efforts with respect to regards to what he's doing and his contribution towards Canada Reggae World, and by means, helping our artists, and he's had Carl Harvey, who's a legendary guitar player. He's played with Toots and the Maytals, right? He's had Moja, who's a wonderful artist, Peter Holong, and as well as Jason Wilson, who, if you ever heard of Jackie Matu,
yeah,
right, wonderful. Mr. Wilson, he's a prodigy of Jackie Matu.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
So he's wonderful, and you see this brother play the keys, excellent. Right, and of course, everybody who knows history by means, Jackie Wilson, he spent some time here in Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Yes, look up the song Toronto Express.
There's so many artists that have passed through.
Yeah,
and
it's a hotbed.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is.
And I love the ones that acknowledge, like Beanie Man. You ask him.
Toronto. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Just all the things, and before he was here,
yes,
and they went back. So it's like we seasoned them.
Oh yeah, from and we'll get into this some more time regards to sound system culture. We've had sound system cultures from the early as the 70s. That were playing here, string up here, because of course the migration took place.
Right.
So of course we brought that along with us.
Right.
So that means, like when it comes to reggae music, and more importantly, when it comes to music itself, Toronto, let me tell you, man, Malton alone that has a legendary label, Black Arts. Yes, a legendary label out of Malton at one point in time. So by means, we'll get a chance to go and talk about it.
When we get into the music, that's that's a show all to itself.
For sure. We got a couple more minutes before we go ahead and say goodbye to our wonderful viewers. You had mentioned a couple birthdays.
Yes. Most notably, we'll say for me, Jimi Hendrix.
Yes.
I came to know him in high school.
Okay.
I don't think my older brother used to play.
Okay.
He played everything. So that's why I know music outside of my generation.
Right.
My brother's 8 years older than me.
Okay.
So I know things that really, my friends didn't listen to. So Jimi Hendrix was one. A good friend of mine, James, from high school. We used to listen and jam. And so my personal favorite, don't put Voodoo Child on. Over.
Right.
I'm doing the wah wah pedal, everything else. You swear, note for note. I got it. I got it. I love it.
Champion air guitarist right here, family.
But just what this man did to music. To this day, some people just they can't understand.
Yes.
And what he died when he was 27.
Early, very early.
Right?
Yeah.
So fortunate for us, we recorded a lot of his. There'd be no Prince it wasn't for Jimi Hendrix.
Absolutely,
hands down.
absolutely.
You know, if you know the history,
yes,
what this man, the innovation that he did, you know, in not just in playing, but the instrumentation and the mechanics of guitar playing and things that were invented to keep up with what he was doing.
Remember, Eric Clapton was upset. Yes, Eric Clapton was upset.
Oh, really?
Yes, he was. When you go back and look at first we speak about history, they told him they had a jam session, or impromptu on stage.
Oh boy!
On stage, yes.
No.
And Eric Clapton was like, "Listen, why didn't you tell me that he was this good?"
You know what? I hope there's footage of this somewhere.
There's a movie on Netflix, the Jimi Hendrix story, I believe. I think that's what it's titled.
I'm going
that,
to.
That goes
it's
into
funny.
it.
It's things like I don't watch a lot of TV,
Right.
but with something like that, I will.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
You know, it's like when Prince at the induction of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, when he went off, they had Tom Petty, I think Clapton was there, Dave from Dave Grohl, and everything. All those guys are playing, and Prince just blacked out. He blacked out.
Lit him up.
Like, what happened? And those guys now became his backup.
That's right. That's right.
So, wow, that's something else. Okay, I got to check that out.
For sure, man. For sure. You know, and as we approach, of course, to the ending of our segment, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, by means, you know what, this is the first of Brothers Helping Brothers. You know, we appreciate you, of course, for definitely chiming in today, sticking with us for the full hour. You know, you could have done anything else, but you stick with us.
Appreciate that.
You know, and more importantly, you know what, if you have any suggestions, any topics you'd like for us to go ahead and cover, I think we're over here now. Camera one, you keep switching out on me, girl. You gotta let me know. Email me, Dave@Care101, or by means, you know what, hit me up on the Facebook. Find this guy as well. You know what, by means, he's got a beautiful smile. You can't miss it. This is, of course, Dave Rankin. He is Lawrence Kerr. We signing off for this week. Peace and love, family.
Nice.
Oh, anyone else? Damn it. Yeah. The one you do. Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. Whoa. C minor. Most, yeah. Okay? Most. Wonder rock.